On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we are talking about the right comp for Bo Nix. Brock Purdy just got paid, and some people around the country are making that comp for Bo Nix. Is that the right comp? If not, who is it? We're having our guy Fran on to talk about it, and it all starts now. Bo Purdy? Are you signing up for that comp right now? A little Brock Nix? Or are we just nixing that? I think I know the answer to that. And we're going to get into this Bo Nix's comp on the DNVR Broncos podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. And we are the DNVR Broncos podcast. Ryan Koenigsberg, Henry Chisholm, you're here behind the camera, and Zac Stevens rocking and rolling with you today. Fellas, how we doing?
Well, I just want to start by saying that I am on the side of the chat here. I'm mad about this headline, and I don't think I was ever consulted about it. So
that is a lie.
No.
Ryan Koenigsberg starting the show off with a lie.
This headline is blasphemous, disrespectful.
Here's question number one. Is Bo Nix better than Brock Purdy right now?
Yes.
I think there's a strong case.
No. We can't just dive in.
Oh,
we
okay.
can't just dive
okay.
in. Ryan is just lying, and I have to expose him. First off, he was just too good to show up to yesterday's show. So, okay, whatever. Big time just yesterday.
had a
Fine.
point.
I did let you know I wouldn't be here.
So the day before, what I did was like, I want to make sure Ryan's okay with this topic. So Wednesday, I planned 2 shows ahead with Henry sitting right here and said, hey guys, how about this headline? And you gave your answer to the thought of it, and then you were like, yeah, let's do it.
No, wait, hold on.
No, that's exactly
that was not
how
the
it went
headline,
down.
it was the topic.
That's the same thing.
Well,
that is the same thing.
No, it's not, because when you discuss it between us, it doesn't sound as bad as when you just write it in a headline.
So what should we have gone with? Something that we weren't going to talk about in the headline?
Well, it could have been like,
Our
who's
headlines
the comp?
are always the topics.
Could have been like, who's the comp for Bo Nix?
When I presented it to you, I did not say that. I said Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, and you said, yeah, let's do it.
Well, I said the answer is obviously this.
Yeah.
But sure, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
So I feel like he did know about
I'm
this.
with you guys.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, what's unbelievable is your attitude starting this show, mister.
Maybe
Wow.
I'm going through a crisis because I'm going to my 15-year high school reunion this weekend, and that makes me feel old as shit.
That's very fair. I thought you were going to say you're going through a crisis because you're wearing Rockies gear, going to a Rockies game today.
Yeah, I am going to a Rockies game, first of the year. I was potentially considering a boycott, but I can't boycott a good time. So my new boycott is I won't initiate any Rockies events, but if I'm invited by people that I like, I won't say no.
Yeah. When I finally asked you if you wanted to go, and it just happened to be the day that you're already going,
And I would have said yes to you too.
which is a shame. You
want to invite him on Sunday's game then?
Yeah, come hang out with the whole fam. But so there's a graduation tonight. Actually, I wasn't going to bring up that I was personally involved. I'm curious what your thoughts are on attending graduations. Like,
I mean, one of the worst things.
yeah, so like
Even your own graduation
Yes.
is
if
terrible.
you have your own child and the child is going to graduate, you have to go.
Yes.
But like so siblings, you probably have to go. Where's the cutoff?
Yeah.
No.
You still say no to that?
Like,
You're not going to go to your kids?
I told my parents not to come to mine.
Did they?
It's very nice.
No.
Did they listen to you?
They listen to me.
You're
college,
nice.
college
You're
college
nice.
is worse because there's more people. But high school, they did come to the high school one. It's, yeah. Graduations are the worst.
They're the worst thing we do as a
Terrible.
society. Like, and I get back in the day, like, it was kind of impressive to graduate from something, but like the teachers literally are not allowed to fail kids anymore.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because like the school loses funding if their kids fail. And so it's like, oh, we can't.
Oh, this
like,
feels political.
you really should do better. I mean, it's been the same. We're like 40 years in. I don't think anybody's in love with our education system.
Back in my
nobody
field
is.
day,
Well,
we
let's-
actually gave out ribbons.
Yeah.
Let's steer it back to, I mean,
Okay.
you said political. Let's steer it back to voting. The voting system, which
Oh,
we have
boy.
going on for Mr.
Yeah, nice.
Bronco right now. And we're down to nearly the final 2. And you today, everyone tuning in right now, is going to vote between Garrett Bowles and Quinn Meinerz.
I also got to defend my parents here. They only accepted not coming because they had to plan my graduation party, get everything ready.
That's fair.
So they did do a nice thing for me still.
Of course, yeah. And so, Ryan, now that you've protected your parents,
Yep.
tell us what Mr. Bronco is. What are people voting on? Because it is not about how good of a player they are.
Yeah. It's all about the heart and soul of the team. Someone who embraces, to me, it's like someone who, when you close your eyes and you think of a Denver Bronco, this person fits it perfectly. They embody what you want as a fan in a player. Someone who takes a lot of pride in the fact that they're putting on that logo to go out on the field. And someone who maybe isn't the best player on the team, but it would really, really hurt to lose them because of all the other things that they do for the team.
Yep.
I like that. So that's what you guys are voting for today. You got to be tuned into YouTube and then vote. Is Garrett Bowles embody that more or Quinn Meinerz? And the winner of this will go to the championship round, where it will be that person going up against Cortland Sutton, who has easily taken his path to the championship round here. So we're getting close. Let's see who it is. And you guys remind me, before the end of the show, we got to reveal the winner so that we know who the championship round is going into this weekend. Guys, there's nothing better than a Friday before a long weekend.
Oh, the best. I love long weekends. Love short weekends. Love all weekends.
Yeah.
Love short weekends. I don't know if that's a sentence that I've ever said.
I just love the weekend. It doesn't matter what form it comes in.
There really isn't a short weekend, is there?
We have a short weekend about half the year. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true for us.
Yeah.
But there isn't like a national, like people are always busy Super Bowl Sunday, but that's too much fun to say like, well, Saturday's really only your weekend because you're busy Sunday.
I was thinking short weekends is like I work on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
But I still have Friday night.
Wow.
So guys, enough with the laughing and let's get to being pissed off.
Oh.
So, Ryan.
Wait, what's the matchup today for Mr. Bronco? Or did you already say it?
Oh my gosh. This guy just doesn't, he's turning into Hank. He doesn't listen
Yeah.
on Wednesday when I bring up today's headline. He doesn't listen when I've said this matchup, what, 2 or 3 times now today?
Yeah.
We got
Court and Quinn.
Oh my gosh. Should I just start my weekend now? Should I just walk off set now? Start
can.
52. No, you're supposed to say no. We need you on this show. Oh my goodness. We've got
Oh yeah, we need you.
thank you,
Yeah.
Henry. I'll go to the Rockies
No, if
game
you told me,
with
to
you.
say, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
No, you won't. You already said you have plans.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. That's exposing
Did
the
you want
truth.
to go to the Rockies game?
Oh, now he's just asking
Good
anyone
tickets,
that walks
$100.
by. Oh,
Yeah.
you're trying to sell the
No,
tickets to
no.
us.
I just need somebody to please come. To please come. To
Wow.
please come to the baseball game. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Sydney. It's okay. It's okay.
So what's the matchup?
So
Yeah, that's
we,
right. That's
we have
right.
Garrett Bowles going up against Quinn Meinerz. Some offensive line against offensive line.
Wow. Yeah, I really don't remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I've got a lot on my mind. We have a
In a
draft
good
of
way.
summer things later, and
Yeah,
I've been thinking
yeah.
about it.
There's a clear
Wow.
number 1 overall pick in that draft, by the way.
Wow.
Clear.
I know what it
number
is.
1. We haven't talked about it, so I don't know how it is.
I
So
know what
who
it
do you
is.
think, before we get to the summer draft, who do you think's going to win this one? Henry
This
was
dra-
close yesterday.
This one. This is gonna be Quinn.
This is going to be Quinn. Henry, do you agree?
I say yes. I think it's going to be really close, though. I think this is the closest matchup we're going to have in the entire bracket.
It should be Bulls, but we'll dive into
No,
the results.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll dive into the results at the end of this show, so make sure to stay tuned and please vote. Okay, so let's dive into this headline, which You've now had 48 hours to think about because we talked about it 48 hours ago. Actually, maybe even 49 hours ago. What do you guys think? Is this the comp? And the reason why we're bringing up Brock Purdy is because he's the quarterback that's been in the news the most over, the past 5 days or week or so, because he got paid 5 years, $250 million, which typically means, should be a good quarterback. There should be someone that you look up to and be like, yeah, I want my quarterback to turn into that. And you guys agree with that, right?
Nope.
No.
Hell no.
I think
Wow.
I think that being Brock Purdy is the worst possible quarterback you can be in the NFL right now.
I agree.
At least not for Brock himself. That's great for him.
That's incredible for him. That's maybe the best possible quarterback to be.
Having Brock Purdy under that contract is the new worst quarterback situation in the NFL.
Disagree with that, but I'm not going to go too much further than that. I would rather have Brock than Kyler.
Yeah, splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But the point is, overpaying a mid quarterback is the worst thing that you can do. And it's tough because how do you start from scratch when you have a guy who's gotten to a Super Bowl with your team? And so it would have been really, really ballsy for the 49ers to come out and say, we don't care. We don't care what he did in the past. We're going to move into the future. And it would have taken a lot of balls. They didn't have the balls to do it, and now they're stuck in purgatory.
Yep.
They don't have a quarterback that's good enough to win a Super Bowl. Their roster is going to continuously get worse because how much money they had to pay him, and their Super Bowl window, the second that Brock Purdy signed his name on that dotted line, closed. So no, under no circumstances would I accept Bo Nix following the Brock Purdy path.
Yeah. No, I said it before, and I'm as crazy as it sounds, I think I stand by it. I'd rather have Bo turn to Jamarcus Russell than Brock Purdy. And the reason is because then at least you get a fresh start. You're not handcuffed to a guy who, again, it's not that Brock Purdy's a bad quarterback. It's in 15 years ago, I would have been happy with it. It would have been great. But just the way those quarterbacks get paid now, it's just not worth it. But teams don't have the balls, as Akib would say. They need to let their nuts on the field.
Something like that.
Yeah, very, very far from
John
this quote.
John Lynch needed to put his nuts on something, though, and make sure that Brock Purdy was not going to get this contract because it's not a way to win. And, I mean, the difference being if you have Jamarcus Russell, then you're cooked for these next 3 years, which in theory is a championship window with a rookie quarterback. And Brock Purdy would give you a better chance in those 3 years. But to me, it's just tying up that next decade, or at least half of the decade, and you probably give him another one after. It's not... That's a bad place to be in the NFL.
Totally don't disagree with anything that you guys said. There's one stat line I want to throw out and see if you guys would take that for Bo Nix as his comp moving forward. And then we'll get into other comps, and we're going to do that after I give a shout out to our friends who are down at Coors Field, and that is our friends over at UC Health. We got the UC Health Healthy Swings Charity Home Run Derby. It's the 7th annual one, and it's coming up in 13 days, June 5th, my dad's birthday, down at Coors Field. UC Health Healthy Swings is going to be doing their 7th annual charity home run derby. Players like Cortland Sutton, Alex Singleton, two guys that were in competition, and one of them still is in competition, me, Mr. Bronco. Marvin Mims are going to be stepping up to the plate. We're going to be there. UC Health has donated over $900,000 to local charities, over 6 iterations supporting Coloradans with food insecurity, cancer screenings, and veteran mental health challenges. So it's a really cool thing that they've got going on. And if you want to live a healthy life, make sure to go to uchealth.org for more info. UC Health, live extraordinary.
And shout out to Empire because everybody needs floors. Let's see. Where are the floors? I guess just concrete at Coors Field.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if that was just some nice hardwood, some oak flooring in there?
Actually, it would be nice.
Could you imagine?
Empire today's floors would stand up to that.
Yeah. Yes.
If they can handle this, they can handle Coors Field.
Yeah. We treat this so poorly, and
looks brand new.
It does look brand new. If you're looking for floors, the best place to get them is Empire. They've been the best in flooring for a very, very long time. All they do is flooring, so they know their stuff. Their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. They'll help you pick the right flooring, the right colors for your space. You can see how it looks with your furniture in your house. Make sure all the measurements are taken. Get all your questions answered so there are no surprises. And they will give you a clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. To schedule a free in-home estimate today, you can use the promo code DNVR and get through a $350 discount. You heard that right, $350 discount with code DNVR. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DNVR for full details.
And shout out to everyone tuning in with us. Hit us with a thumbs up if you're joining us in the Twitter chat. And make sure to vote in today's Mr. Bronco poll.
Also, thank you for letting me know the date of the Healthy Swings, because I was considering making a scene upstairs about the fact that I haven't been invited to play in it.
Yes.
But I won't be here, so that would have been really awkward.
You won't be here?
No.
Wow.
Where are you going to be?
Away.
I was very close to not being here as well. I'm literally leaving that night.
Wow.
But was able to push back my leave time a little bit. Might just been Henry out there carrying the show.
Yeah. It would be a good show.
Maybe I should just
I'm
leave
solo show expert.
Alex will be there, right? He can basically just co-host half the time.
Yeah, it's very
That'd
true.
be a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's an option.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
That
way,
guy.
I have an idea that revolves around Alex that I want to tell you guys after the show. So remind me. Okay, so I want to see how delusional or optimistic or hopeful you guys are being. Tell me if you would take this for Bo Nix. This is just one single year stat line, so you can interpret it how you want. When I'm saying, would you take this comp for Bo Nix? A 12-4 record. Let's say he sits out the final game of the season because the Broncos have Okay, Ryan, then you tell me if you will take the rest of this. 69.
What happened in the last game? He missed his one?
He sits out because the Broncos just have it wrapped up. He has a 69.4% completion percentage, 4,280 yards. Again, this is with one game short of the season, so 4,200 passing yards, 31 passing touchdowns, a NFL high 7% touchdown percentage in the NFL, 11 interceptions, let's see.
Those 32 to 11?
31 to 11. 13.9 yards per completion, which leads the NFL. 113 passer rating, which leads the NFL. A 72.8 QBR, which leads the NFL. And like I said, that 12-4 record.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. Everyone can take that.
Okay. And that was the season Brock Purdy had 2 years ago.
Yep.
And that is why the 49ers were like, we just have to pay him. Now, obviously, it is a different conversation when you look at Brock Purdy in his 3 full seasons, not just one season, because this past season, 6-9 record. Yeah, that's not getting it done. No one's signing up for that. His completion percentage fell to 65. He had 20 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. That was worse than Bo Nix as a rookie. Significantly worse than what Bo did as a rookie. And this is his 3rd season. So you guys are right about everything you said, how you're not taking that for the money, for the player. But that one season, that is a comp that you would sign up for.
Yeah. So for those of you who are new here, let me let you in on a little bit of DNVR or BSN Broncos history and an old analogy that we used to use a lot. You can be the pilot or you can be the plane. The pilot steers the plane. They make sure that it gets from point A to point B. The plane carries the team.
Yes.
Quite literally into the sky. Pilots can't be paid that much money. Planes are worth that much money. The Broncos need Bo Nix to be a plane. And so that is what you're hoping for. You are hoping for a player who, because other guys are on their team, they are better because of it. Whereas Brock Purdy is better because of the guys that are on his team. And that isn't sustainable once you pay him that much money.
So like the 12-win season, for example, just looking at the lineup, I count 5 guys who I'm sure were all pros. And there's only 10 other guys on that offense. So half of them, at least, I don't think any of the others snuck in there, had been an all-pro at some point. Some that season. And that's just what makes it so tough, and that's why they felt stuck. And I thought they kind of got a gift in the fact that last season was bad. You know, if there was ever a chance that you could get rid of a quarterback who's winning pretty consistently, it's when you have a down year like that and you're already having to like get rid of other guys. And it's a mistake. It's the mistake every team has to make because it's just, you have to, as Akib would say, put your nuts on the field and pull the trigger.
It's drop the nuts.
Drop the nuts. There we
drop
go.
The nuts.
Drop the nuts.
So Henry, it sounds like you finally agree with me in the debate we had months ago about how teams are always going to pay quarterbacks this type of money because no team is going to have the balls to drop the nuts and say, we're letting Brock Purdy go, or we're trading Brock Purdy for whatever, and we're going to start over. And I said, that's always going to be the case. The quarterback market is always going to continue to go up. And you said, no, it's going to stop at some point. It sounds like you've turned.
No, at some point, somebody's actually going to do it.
Well,
once somebody does
Washington Football Club did it with Kirk Cousins.
True.
And
they did.
It didn't stop the market at all. Kirk went out and got even more.
But the point is that there are teams who have had the foresight to say, no, we're not doing that.
And it doesn't hurt the quarterback market, though.
It does. No, the quarterback market, it's too desperate.
Yeah.
It is.
It is because, especially who is scared as hell about starting over? The San Francisco 49ers. Because they tried to go all in and just got so lucky with Brock Purdy. Because they went all in. Is Trey Lance even in the NFL anymore?
Yeah, he is, I think, on the Cowboys.
No, he was a backup on the Cowboys. He was a free agent. I don't know if he signed anywhere.
If I had to guess where he signed, I would say the Eagles. Just based off of the thing that they would do.
He is actually a Los Angeles Charger.
Wow.
Wow, maybe we'll see him this year.
Wow.
Man, that would be a treat. But that trade needs to be talked about more as in the worst trades in NFL history. Like Russ gets thrown out there. Obviously, Deshaun Watson is at the top of that list. Russ is in there too, but that Trey Lance trade needs to be in there. But enough with bad quarterbacks. So you guys aren't signing up for Brock Purdy. I'm not either. So we agree on that. Who would you sign up for? A comp for Bo Nix and, he turns into this guy in a couple of years. Do you guys want me to read some names and you say yes or no to, and we'll see where we kind of draw the line?
Yes.
Okay. Do we start with bad or good? Do we go up the list or down the list?
Let's just get all the automatic yeses out of the way.
Okay.
Just list all the ones that you think are automatic, and we can just give one resounding yes to all of them.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
We're already going against my plan, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was the other way.
Keep going. Yeah. I thought you were just going to go Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen.
Okay. Would you want to do it?
No.
Okay, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
I think those are the auto picks. So yes.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, that wasn't super resounding.
Okay, is there... Did I miss any other auto ones?
I don't think so.
Okay, so those guys to start. Now, would you guys take...
And this is at their current level, right? Because, you throw in Aaron Rodgers, and if you're telling me you're getting prime Aaron Rodgers, then yes, I'll take that.
That is a tough distinction.
Yeah, and I guess that you just answered the question right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, if it's now.
We
yes,
can have a
if
little
it's-
conversation, yeah.
Even though I can't stand the guy. What about...
There's some interesting ones in here.
There's
I know,
a lot of interesting
I agree.
ones. Let's just start with maybe the most interesting. Jared Goff.
A lot of...
No.
I think I'm there with you. Again, with this kind of stuff, your goal is to have a superstar quarterback. That's why you draft one, you roll the dice. If you don't get it, then congrats, you're winning 12 games every year. But if the goal is to win Super Bowls, I think I'd rather roll the dice than say, sign me up for Jared Goff.
That's the only goal.
Yep.
We did decide we're talking about current play, right?
Yes.
Guys. Jared Goff, right now. I'm not talking about the time when Sean McVay was trashing him with the Rams. Yes, Goff, 100%. He went 15-2 last year.
The team went 15-2.
Okay, well, let me continue. 72% completion percentage, 4,600 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Those are all better than what Brock Purdy did 2 years ago, and you guys would have signed up for that right there.
It's not about the season, it's about the player.
It's about the player.
Yes. And Jared Goff is a great... Oh, my
He's
gosh.
not... he's good.
Oh, he's great right now.
He is great right now.
Bo Nix that offensive line, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery.
He has that offensive line. Now, obviously, he doesn't have the weapons.
He doesn't have that offense. We hope he gets close to that.
37 touchdowns.
Think about the running game that they had.
Yeah.
Totally.
Ross St. Brown, Sam Laporta. Like,
interceptions.
He was not putting up those numbers, but if you tell me that in 5 years from now he's just Jared Goff, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably about what you expect based on what we saw first year.
Who did they lose to in the playoffs? It was the Commanders, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they lose to the Commanders?
Oh,
I don't
boy.
remember the game specifically.
Well,
45-31 Commanders.
I was on my bachelor party, so I remember nothing about it.
As you should.
Oh, maybe it was because Jared Goff threw 3 picks.
No, I think you just said it with the score. It was the defense. They gave up 45 points. Jared Goff, despite 3 picks, scored 31 points. Come on, that's not on Goff.
No, it's not on Goff, but Jaden Daniels is on the other side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a dynamic quarterback and a dynamic playmaker. And I just think that in 2025 in the NFL, that's what you need. You need a dynamic quarterback and a dynamic playmaker. Jared Goff is a very good passer of the football within the constraints of an offense. I'm very curious to see what happens without Ben Johnson. And I don't think he has the juice to win a Super Bowl.
And I guess if we're talking about like comp as they look and play on the field, well, then Bo Nix clearly isn't that. Bo Nix is way more athletic than Jared Goff. I'm kind of talking about. Well, I'm talking about like just the type of output that they have.
Mm-hmm. I also think though that again, it's a big pilot versus plane conversation. Like Jared Goff, in terms of like the NFL's pilots, he's probably the number 1 pilot in the NFL, unless you want to get into like a weird Joe Burrow conversation.
Yeah.
But Bo is more creative. He's more athletic. He makes more plays off script already than Goff does. And I think that
but that's not really this conversation because clearly, athletically, you're taking Bo.
Exactly. And I think that all that stuff comes in that, like, third down, you need somebody to go out there and, like, create something. Like, he has that. And if he becomes the pilot that Goff is, then obviously he's the better player. I think that he has the special stuff already. What he doesn't match Goff with is just like the polish and the training. And I think that a lot of that'll come.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with the polish will come. Daniel brings up a great point. Stafford isn't super athletic like those guys that both of you want, and he won it all. And I think that's a good comp.
Yeah.
Would you take Stafford?
So this is everything's just falling perfectly into place for me in this conversation because you keep leading me to places that I wanted to go anyway. Yeah. There's this one last ingredient that sways you from a pilot to a plane, and it's, for lack of a better term, the dog factor. And when we were talking about who's a dog on this team, we brought up the name Bo Nix, and we're like, yeah, can a quarterback really be that? Like, and I feel like he really has it. Jared Goff, in my opinion, has like none of that.
Dogless.
Just flat. Matt Stafford, have you ever seen the video of him when he's mic'd up and he's injured and he's going on that last 2-minute drill with the lines?
No.
Oh, it will make you so fired up. I honestly wouldn't even recommend watching it until we're closer to football season because it will just fire you up too much. But Matt Stafford's a dog.
And he has that arm.
Yes. Well, yeah. And obviously he has an elite.
Maybe the best arm in the NFL. Like in terms of placement and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's to me something that Bo Nix, it's kind of like Brock Purdy doesn't have it at all. Bo Nix has it. And so that's where I raise my level of like, okay, you can take out all of these like average guys who don't have that piece to them because I can't, I'm not down with Bo Nix being that guy.
So you wouldn't take Stafford, or you would?
I would take Stafford.
Okay, I think I would too. I think that's pretty close to the dividing line though.
Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Matt Stafford right now.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't think I'd say that.
On a random Sunday in week 6, yes. But that's just not what I'm looking for.
And exactly, like on third downs, in the red zone, like all that sort of stuff, like where the good quarterbacks become like really good quarterbacks. That's where I'd still take Stafford.
I thought the Goff one was going to be a good one, so I'm happy we had that conversation. Let's ask Fran. He's going to join us in just a second after I give a shout out to our friends over at Toyota, where, guys, whatever your plans are this Memorial Day weekend, a lot of people headed to the mountains here. A lot of people headed down to Coors Field. A lot of people heading to parks. Today's like an 85-degree day or something. You need a Toyota, because Toyota can take you places, can take you anywhere you want to go. Man, the commercial that I see all the time is the Toyotas that are like on the beach and they have the surfboards coming out. And I'm like, that is the life that I want. And
How is your surfing skills?
I don't know. Never done it before, so probably pretty bad.
I don't know. I feel like you've probably got good like strength to be able to get yourself up onto the board.
And then I'm just pliable with the ocean.
Like you can do pull-ups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. So like I feel like you'd have a much better chance of getting up on the board than I would.
Well, let's
I've
do
never
it sometime.
tried. Yeah.
Let's go.
London?
I don't think-
London surfing?
Just surf the Thames River.
Yes. And we'll do it with our Toyota. So make sure to check out. If you need a Toyota for
Don't
any
try to
reason.
surf a river with your Toyota.
Yeah, no, don't. That's maybe the only thing you don't want to do with
should
the
pitch
Toyota.
that to
But
him,
you
though.
should drive your Toyota to the river or wherever you're going, because we love Toyotas no matter what they are. And when I think about a Toyota on beach, I'm thinking of the 4Runner specifically. Maybe I need to start thinking of the Land Cruiser, though, because I love the Land Cruiser. And if you
Sand
want one of
Cruiser in
those...
that.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Also, shout out to Coors Light, or as I call it, Coors Light.
Wow.
There's just nothing better than being like 4 drinks deep, going to the bar for no reason, just being like, give me a Coors Light.
So true. I'm
just hits.
kind of now in my dive bar stage of life.
wow. Bro.
And there's nothing better than that.
Let me get a Coors Light. This
Yeah.
bartender's like, this guy means business. Ice frosty mug, just like,
And it's coming down
ice
the
falling
sides.
down the sides.
Yeah.
You can just imagine how blue the mountains would be if it was in a can.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is as cold as the Rockies.
It is as cold as the Rockies. Big Coors Light weekend. As big as
Wow.
they get.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend might be
It's like
4th
that
of July.
4th of
probably,
July, yeah.
But that's not even always a weekend. So one day 4th of July or 3 days Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
It is Coors Light time.
I'm going to Coors Field tonight, and I am going to have a few.
Maybe they should try Coors Dark.
Why ruin a good thing? Or not ruin.
Just
I'm
out of
sure they would do a
curiosity.
great job, but
Yeah.
No, that's not dark.
Anyways, get yourself a Coors
There you
Light
go.
this weekend and every weekend because they are the best, and you can even get it sent straight to your door by going to
You
What?
dur? Your
Dur.
Coors with the dur?
Coors
the
to Dur. By going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR.
Do we have Fran on yet? Oh, we do.
Hey!
Fran, you called when, and I just didn't hear. Man, that's kind of sad. But
Yeah,
Fran,
where was the chime?
Happy
Yeah.
to talk to you today. Okay, before we dive in, I need the fellas to look at your microphone. It's the coolest looking microphone. It was like the only thing I was able to look at last time, and these guys somehow didn't notice it. Do you guys see how cool it is?
It is cool.
It is pretty cool. I'm just too busy looking directly into Fran's eyes.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I was at the hair, but yeah. A lot of good options.
So, Fran, we are talking about comps today, and we're going to get some of the Broncos rookie comps from you. You've been diving in and finding out the right comps for these guys. But before we go that direction, we've been talking about the comp for Bo Nix today. And I know you haven't thought about this a lot, so we're putting you on the spot a little bit. And the two ones that we've really talked about is Brock Purdy, since he just got paid the big time deal, and the one that we just really debated is Jared Goff. Now, this isn't a play style sort of thing. It's like, if you are the Broncos...
It's like career arc is how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, if you're the Broncos, would you take Bo Nix turning into
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff? From an outside perspective, would you? If you're looking at this from a Broncos?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that if you're looking, to me, guys, the way I look at player comps, you can go one of 4 ways. And some people get really butthurt about player comps. But to me, it's there's a lot of different ways that you can use it, right? There's the physical dimensions and athletic testing. We think of like the spider charts, right? Like, all right, you've got that element of it. then you could talk like quality level of player. So I could say, hey, this guy is like a Patrick Surtain level starter, or he's a Jaleel McLaughlin level running back, or Alex Singleton level linebacker. And right away, that gives you an image like, all right, this is the level of player that we're talking about. We could talk usage, like, all right, it could be used like Zach Allen, it could be inside, outside, or just vibes, right? Like, hey, like he plays like Cortland Sutton. Right, like you kind of have an idea of it, and so when you ask a question like, all right, like Bo Nix, like immediately my mind starts going like, all right, who are some of like the smaller, more compact, quick release, aggressive throwers? He's definitely not built like Jared Goff, but if you're asking the question like if he becomes that level of starter for where he was taken in the draft, that's absolutely a win, and that's why honestly I felt confident that to me, like you take Bo Nix in that area of the draft because that's how I viewed him coming out of Oregon last year.
Yeah, and I think the tough part for me is that quarterback is just such a strange position. If he was a receiver and you said he turns out to be this equivalent receiver, that's awesome. But at quarterback, it's kind of either you have a star or you don't. And I'd almost rather just roll the dice and say, hey, let's see what Bo Nix turns into instead of locking myself into, that tier of guy who, a little bit robotic, system quarterback, like maybe not a guy you necessarily would call a gamer. Do you think that there's a case for saying like, hey, I'd rather roll the dice and see if we get what we're looking for?
Yeah, I think at that position you absolutely do, and that's why it's something that I tried to illustrate in my big boards over the course of the offseason was that, because the way I do my big board is off of positional value based off of salary from the pro market, right? And so when you look at the way quarterbacks get paid, and it's not, everyone thinks like, oh, it's, the guys at the top. It's not just like the Josh Allens of the world, right? It's not just the Patrick Mahomes of the world. It's, all right, what does Brock Purdy get paid? What does Baker Mayfield get paid? What does Jared Goff get paid? What does Kirk Cousins get paid? What does Daniel Jones get paid? What does Kyler Murray get paid? Like these are guys that are, maybe on the fringe of top 10, but are probably more like closer to like 15th, 18th best quarterback in football. And those guys get more guaranteed money. They get more APY than Myles Garrett. They get more APY than Devontae Adams in his prime. You know what I mean? Like, so when you start looking at it, yes, it is worthwhile taking a swing at that position, especially if you feel not just about the ceiling, but Henry, even if you feel good about the floor and you say like, yeah, like he's going to be a solid starter. You feel good about that, and it's worth taking that swing.
One guy that I would put on the list of players I would be down for Bo Nix to turn into is Jalen Hurts. And I think honestly, stylistically, there's a little more comparison. Obviously, Jalen's probably a better runner than Bo and is more willing to display that.
Just athleticism.
I'm curious where you're at on Jalen Hurts, having kind of followed his career so closely, and like how many quarterbacks in the NFL would you trade Jalen Hurts for straight up?
That's a complicated, layered question that if you were to poll every single Eagles fan here in Philly or around the world, it would be a wide variety of answers. I think that, look, at the end of the day, like proof's in the pudding, the results do matter. What he has done from a success standpoint, production standpoint, certainly from a winning standpoint, they just don't lose a lot of games when he's the starting quarterback. Like, we could point to a lot of different reasons for that. So that makes it difficult to answer the one part of your question, like how many guys would you trade him for? I remember just talking with the DLS guys last week about him versus Dak Prescott, and like Dak is a better, like if you're just looking at like traditional, like playing the quarterback position, like Dak is a better quarterback. But if you're asking like who would I rather have, I think I'd rather have Jalen. So it's a really, really difficult question. There are certainly flaws to Jalen's game. Like I think that he still needs to get better at completely reading the entire field. There are still going to be frustrating turn downs where it's like, all right, like the play is designed to hit this deep bin cut. The play is designed to hit this comeback route. Cut it loose, like let it rip, and he doesn't, and he runs around, and sometimes he's able to make a play, and then sometimes he's not able to make a play. He had a really cold stretch through the middle of last year where he was just not creating explosive plays outside of structure, and then once he was able to kind of get back into that rhythm of creating those plays, and he started, kind of rolling hot a little bit there, they were able to catch fire, and then obviously they go on to win the Super Bowl. And so, Jalen can be a volatile watch from that standpoint.
What do you think of the Bo Nix Jalen Hurts comp? Because that's one that even before the draft last year, we went back to a lot just because there's a whole bunch of similarities other than the fact that like Jalen's just the better athlete.
Yeah, I think that when you look at like the build, I think that there's certain, honestly, the other aspect of it is like from a narrative, if you want to take a walk down narrative street, like Bo Nix is a guy that got better every single year in college. Jalen Hurts is a guy who got better every single year in college. They both played a ton. Just got better with every single study. I think with Bo, the thing that stands out with me, like even I remember watching early games last year on film, just because I was a little bit invested with Bo Nix because I was pretty high on him coming into the year. And so I wanted to get eyes on him in those early starts. And even though as people were kind of saying like, oh, he doesn't have it, and everybody was quick to kind of overreact to what the early returns were with a rookie quarterback making his first few starts, you were seeing him like let it loose. And there was like those deep in breakers where it's like, yeah, like, all right, like there are these flashes here where you can kind of grasp onto where again, like Jalen doesn't always make those kinds of throws. And so they are different in terms of the way that they try and stress defenses with their arm. Jalen is much more like, all right, I want to work outside the numbers, and that's where I feel comfortable making those throws, whereas Bo has shown the ability to kind of attack every level of the field. But no, I think when you're looking at it from a narrative standpoint and from a skill set standpoint, there are definitely similarities.
So, Fran, I think we're just going to have to table our conversation that we're going to have about RJ Harvey, Pat Bryant, and Jahdae Barron comps for next week because it's a good conversation.
Yeah,
I want to keep having it. And a couple of right after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I think it was the day after or 2 days ago. It was still when Todd was with us, so I didn't know that Ryan was such a big Jalen guy, but I said Jalen Hurts is now in that elite category with Lamar Jackson, with Patrick Mahomes, with Josh Allen. He deserves to be up there. He's done everything you could have asked.
Burrow.
I mean, the Burrow as well. Yep, he's in that category with those guys now. And I got crushed from Denver people. And am I crazy saying that? And you're coming from a Philadelphia perspective. Is it crazy to say he is in that tier? Like the winning, obviously the Super Bowl, but then the constant winning, 12 win seasons pretty much every year for the past 3 or 4 years when he's been the guy. He had over 30 touchdowns and 5 interceptions last year. Now that's rushing and passing combined, but like, what more can you ask from this guy to not consider him elite?
Yeah, and that's what makes it difficult. Like me personally, having watched every single drop back, I would not put him in that tier. I think that to me, like he would be in that bucket below. But I think that that's what makes this difficult is that I can see the argument for the other side, where again the results kind of speak for themselves. When you see what Jalen has done in the overall body of work, it is tough to argue. Now, again, like. The ecosystem is outstanding, right? And that's what makes football the best sport. Is that it's not like baseball where it's pitcher versus hitter, 1 versus 1. Like, all right, like I'm better than you. Basketball, you can get one player and he can completely change the outcome of a game. To me, like when I look at football, like there are so many factors on every single play and every single drive and every single game that can lead to success or failure. And so when I look at Jalen, what I always come back to, and I was thinking, you're saying it a lot during the cold stretch of last year, midseason, was, all right, like, what if you took, Bo Nix? What if you took Brock Purdy? What if you took Jared Goff and you put them into this situation with this offense, with this scheme, with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, the best offensive line in football, and Saquon Barkley? It's like, that's a great situation. And by the way, like maybe one of the best defenses in football, if not the best defense of football last year. So I think when you look at it, it's tough to kind of disentangle the results from just all the other factors that go into that success.
The thing that I feel like just gets passed up in this conversation though is just the dog factor. Like Jalen Hurts' numbers in Super Bowls back to back compared with Patrick Mahomes in those 2 games, he literally blows them out of the water. Like. He just has that it factor when the game's on the line, when whatever's happening, when their backs are up against the wall, he takes it up to another level. And I feel like there's so many quarterbacks that we consider good quarterbacks that just don't have that. And it's like every era has these guys. I think Eli Manning is one where it's like you looked at him during the season and you're like, I don't think I want this guy. And then somehow he's beating Tom Brady in Super Bowls. And you're like, okay, well, I mean, you got to give it to him. Like I think, Jalen Hurts is a flawed quarterback, but he just has something that I want more than I want Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I agree. And honestly, that's where I landed with the guys with the Dak Prescott debate last week, because Dak, it's the other side of it, where it's like they get into the playoffs, they get into these crucial games late in regular seasons, and it's like, there's these brain farts and these like he's sliding and not stopping the clock, or you know what I mean? Like you have those kind of moments in crunch time. Whereas you mentioned it, RK, like Jalen has been nails in both Super Bowls that he's been in. He outdueled Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl in 2022. In the NFC Championship game, outdueled Jaden Daniels like by a wide margin here this season when Daniels was on an absolute heater coming in. And so yeah, when the going gets tough, like Jalen has consistently stepped up to the plate, and there is absolutely something to be said for that.
Fran, on behalf of the majority of Broncos country, I apologize for the ownership voting against the tush push this week. Personally, I am a fan of the tush push.
Me too.
I think the injury thing is just absolute BS. There's no proof that it's an injury play, so just throw that out the window. And if you can't stop it, well then try to become it or figure out a way to stop it. Just because teams can't stop this play, there's other plays that teams do that are tough to stop, and we're not trying to ban it. Yeah. So, but I do think, unfortunately, you guys out in Philadelphia will only have one more year to enjoy this. Do you feel like it'll be banned after this year?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they can come up with better reasoning for it, maybe then they're able to get the 3 or 4 more votes that they need. But clearly, like the league and the Packers kind of dropped the ball, and all the reporting is pointed to it looks like the league office wants this out more so than the Packers did, and it's messy. It's ridiculous, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out over the next year.
It just kind of hit me. I think that the tush push staying is the most ethical thing that's happened in sports in a while. Wow. The fact that, what was it, 11 or 22 teams voted against it or to ban it. Yeah. So the 11 teams that voted to keep it, most ethical teams. Because everyone wants to win the Super Bowl. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl, and that play is a big part of them doing it. Out of jealousy alone, you could just say, like, forget it. They can't do that anymore. But they said, no, we're doing it for what we believe is right. And that's impressive.
Yeah.
It was. We talked about it on the show yesterday. Dana Selman did an outstanding job of breaking this down, and I'm probably going to butcher it because I don't have the stat right in front of me. But it was the Eagles have 14 teams in the schedule this year. 13 of the 14 teams voted against it, and then it was like of the 20 teams that vote, or the 22 teams that voted for it. 19 of them are in the NFC. You know what I mean? Like it's very clearly not an issue of safety. It's not a pace of play. It's, hey, this is an advantage for the Eagles. We don't want them to have this advantage. Like, we want to get rid of this, right? It's a very silly argument.
Fran, thank you so much for joining us. We'll get to those comps next week, so don't forget about them. And then maybe one more time before the Broncos play the Eagles, we'll have to talk to you about how the Broncos will stop the tush push since it's still effective when they play them this week. But thank you, Fran. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we really enjoyed talking to you.
Same to you guys. Zach, I hope you find a surfboard.
Thank you. Shout out to Fran. Shout out to Toyota. Shout out to, as someone in the Toyota chat said earlier this week, since Ryan got married by an ocean, he has officially deemed that the best body of water, RIP Lakes.
Yep. I stayed less than 100 yards away from an ocean for 5 days. Didn't even put my toes in it.
What?
Yep.
What?
Wow.
I like to admire the ocean. I like to look at it.
So is it the top dog?
No. Lakes are still the top dog because you want to do all the things in them.
I'm gonna get you guys to a river, and you're not gonna believe it. Like I turned all my girlfriend's friends into river people. She's a Minnesotan, and she is now a river person.
Wow.
Like, you get on a river and you
impressive.
just get to sit there for 5, and you're like, there's just mountains, all that stuff, and you're just on your little journey. Incredible.
I honestly think that the less the water moves, the better.
Oh,
that's what it is for me.
Oh, and that's why we
Wow.
have very different takes. Couldn't
What
disagree
about,
more.
Do you like a lazy river?
I do enjoy a lazy river. I like all bodies of water, to be clear here.
Yeah.
But the fact, like, there's just something about being on a lake and you can be on the water and nothing's moving, and it's awesome.
Yeah, see, lazy rivers can't be fast enough.
They can't be fast enough.
So
you want faster.
Oh, faster.
Oh,
faster,
see,
baby.
rivers.
That
Yes,
would be
you
an
get on the
active
river, you
river.
just float down
That's
all day.
an ocean. The ocean's always moving.
But
Can't,
but you don't.
it doesn't move linearly.
It doesn't. If it brings you somewhere, you're really in big trouble. Like you're supposed to like.
You want to stay
No,
in the
I
same
was just
exact
saying,
spot.
like,
Yeah.
I want fast-moving bodies of water.
Okay.
Which is
Okay.
that. So, let us know. Are you lakes, rivers, or oceans?
By the way,
in
the area
Twitter
where we
chat?
were was not a swimmable
Riptides.
ocean. So it's not like I had the option to
Oh,
go
that's
in.
fair. So you were just.
But I could have like gone down and let the water like lap around my ankles.
And you didn't.
No, I didn't. We did have like a photo shoot in the water, and I did get a little.
Like on rocks.
Yeah.
That was a little dangerous.
Yeah, so I did get splashed then by the ocean. But there's just lakes are just so calm and peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want calm.
I'll
and
get you on the
peaceful.
right river.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So-
I felt like one last thing from the comments. It
Yeah.
was Gen X Hive Mind.
Yeah.
Who said you should have a Coors Light on ice. And honestly, if the mountains are blue, you don't need it. But I feel like we need to normalize beer on ice.
Okay. Yeah.
It's unfairly just ruled out completely. And when I was in Mexico, our bartender made me a michelada, which not the first one I've ever had, but it was, you put salt on the rim, ice, beer, and then a little bit of lime juice. And I was just like, yeah, this is just an elite beverage. And
Yeah.
like, if you take out the salt and the lime juice and just have the beer on ice, it's still just an extra cold beer.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fair. Do you have to drink it fast enough though before it melts? The ice melts?
Like all drinks, you don't want the ice to melt completely in there.
Not
you know,
completely,
like-
yeah.
But it just makes it a little easier to drink fast anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Very fair. Very fair. I'll try that this weekend. Sounds like a great thing to do over the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Do we get to our draft or do we get to Mr. Bronco results?
Jeez. We
Mr.
also there's all these quarterbacks for Bo too.
We got to continue
Mr.
next
Broncos
week, I guess. Okay, let's get the results
No
for the
draft.
Mr. Broncos poll. Is it Garrett Bowles or Quinn Meinerz? We've got Quinn losing.
Oh.
Garrett Bowles
Oh,
wins.
wow.
59% to Quinn Meinerz, 41%. You guys shocked? Surprised.
I am surprised, but I'm positively surprised. Like, I feel like this is the official forgiveness of Garrett Bowles' early career struggles.
I like that.
Like,
I like that.
Like, his sins have been forgiven. And I'm proud of Broncos country for that. Because at this point, he's been a franchise left tackle. But during this whole thing, just thought, like, there's no way people can get past the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have. We've moved past the past.
It's tough though. Longevity might be getting a little too much weight here. I'd say that.
I think longevity is important in
But
this,
again,
though.
if we go back to the Nuggets though, longevity again, like AG was around for a year and a half, maybe 2 years, I think, when he became Mr. Nugget. Like sometimes longevity isn't everything. I think it could be a pro and a con. I think for a team like the Broncos, maybe there's more value just because we know what he's been through as a Bronco. That having some of that might change perspective a little bit, but I don't know.
We know Quinn's your guy. This is what
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
essentially what you're
true.
saying. Is Quinn's my guy.
I think Garrett, he's been through the highs and lows too.
And he has like the spokesperson thing where like he's had some quotes that were worthy of being on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, he's literally said one of those quotes is like, "I'll give my arms, legs, and limbs for the Broncos to win" and stuff.
True. That is true.
So guys, I think this is the championship that I think everyone thought we were going to have. We got Garrett Bowles going up against Cortland Sutton, and we are going to vote on that live on this show.
What were the numbers on Cortland versus Alex?
80-20. Wow. Blew him out of the water.
All right.
Yep. So we got the two dogs in the championship. We're going to vote on this. Next show's Tuesday. Tuesday.
And by the way, has to be 67%
Yep.
for the winner, or else
Yeah.
it will be deemed a no contest.
I think the only person between these two that can get the 67% is Garrett Bowles.
I think so too.
But I agree, or else we'll have
Yeah.
to table this for a little bit longer. Okay, let's dive in. Since the start of Memorial Day, to me, it just feels like the true start of summer. How about a summer things draft?
Yep.
We're drafting the best summer things. And Ryan, you have the very first pick in this draft.
Wow. Okay. Number one overall pick of the Summer Things draft. I am taking outdoor concerts.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a good one.
When I think of like the summer, it's just one of those things you can only do in the summer.
An outdoor concert.
At least in a good way.
Yeah.
Because I've been to some early fall Red Rocks concerts that were just freezing, and it is not a vibe.
I went to a 4-hour Tiesto set at Red Rocks in November and was wearing a faux fur coat. Man, it was a vibe. It was a vibe, man.
Where are the pics, bro? We need to see the pics.
I can't imagine Zach outside like a college shirt.
Yeah.
With I just can't.
Were you wearing
I'm
the
just starting to
Lulu
get a
pants
little
with
more
it?
loosey-goosey. Probably, yeah. I have to
Lulu
imagine.
pants and a fur coat.
Ryan, that's a good one, but you just left me the best one. There's no better summer thing. In fact, no better thing in life than a summer break. When you go on summer break as a kid and you enter summer break, that's the best feeling in the world. The best
I'm throwing a
feeling
flag.
in the world.
I'm throwing a
flag?
Interesting.
Summer, you're picking
Convince
the
me.
summer as
That
in the
is-
summer things draft.
I'm picking summer break. That feeling of summer break when you are done with school and you're a kid and you have no obligations for what seems like forever. You don't even know if you're gonna make it till when the fall and school comes around
I
again.
feel like you're
Interesting.
using the word in the definition.
2 of 3. It's also a 2 of 3 vote.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
up
throw
to Henry.
so.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost like drafting like summer as a child, you know, because
No,
that's like
I'm
those are the
drafting
kids who.
a very specific thing, the break.
Yes, but
that
that would be
everyone
their
has.
experience. You know, do you get what I'm saying? That where it kind of feels like it's drafting like summer as
Just
a
throw
child.
the flag if you're gonna do it.
No, I
This
just
is
no. I
absurd.
wanted. Okay, I'll throw the flag then.
Yeah.
I was giving you a chance to convince
gosh.
me. I was on the fence.
This is ridiculous. Chat.
The whole idea is things that you would do during summer break.
No, because we don't have summer break now. So summer break is a thing because it's not something that everyone has. Well, that's where I'm going next. So I'm going vacation in the summer because at least for me now, that's really the time I associate vacations is during the summer with the Broncos. But I think that's also a thing. So you can just say vacation because I can't have summer in there because that voided my first one.
Can I take the sun, or sunshine, the warmth?
You can take warmth.
I can take warmth.
Yeah, you can take warmth.
Give me. I say no. Warmth is no. Not. I don't want to say warmth. Can I take the weather?
Yeah. I think summer weather is a thing.
summer weather.
Yeah, I'll take the weather.
Just weather. Yeah.
And then give me baseball.
Man, you would have had me with that 15 years ago. I would have been like, damn, that's the #1 overall pick. But sorry, Rockies have ruined it for me. We're going to go.
Ooh, warm wind.
That's a good one.
If you're
Strez.
staying
No
there,
one loves a Chinook wind like
so
Henry
good.
Chisholm.
Oh,
Okay, I don't think anyone's going to disagree or not allow this one. Grill outs. What?
Grill outs. I feel like you just combined barbecues, cookouts,
and grilling.
grilling all into one word.
Give me
Wait,
grill
so
out.
Is grill out not a thing?
No, take grill out. No, take grill out.
Okay, we'll go
No.
Well, I don't want people to. Would people associate barbecues to just a barbecue food?
No.
Does that mean the essence?
If you
You're
make
in a
it
backyard.
plural,
and
like barbecues, people
barbecues.
know what that is.
Okay.
I want grill out on the graphic.
Is that really not a thing?
No, it's
No,
not.
no.
I do
But I
this
mean,
all
we
the
know what
time.
you
And
mean.
Brian actually is the one throughout my whole life to be like, that's not a thing. Other people just like
Just know what you're
Grill.
saying.
either know what I'm saying or have no idea
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
That's the thing that Allie hates about me because like we knew the context of what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll still.
But I'll be like, that's not a thing. And she's like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but you should say the thing the way it should be said.
But see, I actually appreciate that you tell me it's not
good.
a thing. So
At
now
least
I
someone
can
does.
not talk to someone and be like, grill out. Brian, back-to-back picks.
All right, let me get how do I want to describe this? I'll just say like rooftop drinks. Rooftop / patio drinks.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very good one. Trying to steal from my barbecues, but I'll let you have it.
Cool. And then I'm gonna take golf.
Yeah. I'm surprised that wasn't your number one pick.
It was
Actually.
Yeah.
internally.
Yeah.
But I just
Play
felt
the
like
board.
I could. The fact that I got it in the third.
You had a feeling it would fall?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Before we finish the draft, we are going to round out this show on overtime, and we're going to do it over at thednvr.com. If it doesn't pop up right away over at thednvr.com, just scroll down a little bit, and it'll show up there. So we're going to go into overtime to finish this draft. And with this next one, man, you guys let this one fall to me, but pools. It's like the most summer thing.
It is. Personally, not a big pools guy,
Okay, that's fair.
but that's probably why you were able. That's why it slipped.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Henry back to back.
I know. Give me.
I hate the way my skin feels after going into a pool.
Yeah. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not like the immediate after like raisin hands thing.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah,
more just
that's
like the
bad.
dryness of like I feel like my skin is like shrinking.
I feel like it lathers me up. I feel the opposite.
I don't like getting lathered. I don't. I just don't need that. I like how long the days are. I like waking up and it's sunny. I like going to.
Henry's picks are always so
a good
abstract.
one.
I like I'm just thinking, what do I enjoy about the summer? I enjoy
Yeah.
Last night I was like, oh, it's still light out. It was like 8 o'clock.
I know it's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah, I like cool. Long days works, and then I also have another, and I think. Oh, I need something with more mass appeal.
There's something so epic about
boats.
going home. Good pick.
Yeah.
Going home from work and feeling like there's still plenty of daylight left.
Yep.
Give me rafting. I like the rafts. A boat includes a raft, but I don't want people to misconstrue my picks. I want the raft.
Who wants rafting?
Yes.
All right.
But rafting, not intense. Just like you sit there, you float.
Floating. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't want to float. I want to go fast.
I mean,
That's
we
fair.
can
That-
find.
that-
There are
that's-
fast spots. We
Yeah.
can find you some fast spots.
Okay, with this one, I'm going ice cream. Ice cream
Nice.
in the summer probably should have been my number one overall pick. I just thought it has a chance to fall, so I'll go ice cream.
Nice. Good pick.
Thank you.
I am going to go with. Wait, I had what I was going to go with. Oh, the 4th of July.
Oh man, honest, great one.
Best
Oh.
holiday, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say 4th of July kind of sucks here because you can't shoot fireworks off.
Yeah.
It's still
I've
so
realized
good,
it's not
though.
about the fireworks to me.
It is
Is it about the
100%.
people?
It's about the
We go
about
up,
the friends we
we
made along the way.
stopped on the reservation and blew hundreds of dollars on fireworks, and then just took a couple hours and just blew things up. There is
Yeah.
nothing better.
It is great.
Yeah.
I also love loud noises. I learned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Okay, so no, I'm not
that's
saying
right.
that one for sure.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how my mind can go there.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Last pick of my draft. Things I love about the summer. There's so many things, so many options. Concerts are off. I'm gonna go with a broad pick here. Something that I wish I did more, that I don't do enough. But when I do it, I love it a lot every time. Camping.
Oh, yes.
I think I need to become the camping guy because I'm looking for a camping guy like to come across my life who's just like, hey, you want to go camping this weekend? I have all the stuff. And it's like, yes, I would love to. The thing is like, I'm not that guy.
Yep.
So I can't just go camping whenever I want because I have zero of the things.
Planning a camping trip in Montana for July, if you would like details.
Okay, yeah. Are you my camping guy?
Potentially.
Do you have the camping gear?
My parents do.
Yeah, that counts.
Or at least they're close enough that you can patch it together.
yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Camping would be great if it was like in a nice house with all the amenities.
No. That's not camping.
And-
That's just vacation.
So with this final one, I'm gonna go peaches. A summer peach. I got to laugh on the way
Dre
down. Must
almost
mean
died.
it's a really good
Don't
pick.
kill Dre. Dre.
Really good pick. There's nothing better than a Palisade peach in the
I
summer.
mean, Dre was the guy yesterday saying that his white whale is this banana from South America that is blue and tastes like vanilla. And I was
What?
like, so I mean, why is he laughing at beaches?
What is a white whale?
That's like it's
Something
on his
you're
bucket
searching
list.
for,
yeah.
yeah.
And what is it?
It's some sort of South American banana. It's the like royal blue banana or something, and it tastes like vanilla ice cream.
Wow.
Sounds.
It's like $75 to get 10 pounds shipped to him, and I almost did it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's like this. If this is all you want in life,
It's called the blue Java banana. And,
blue Java banana.
And they make ice cream out of it, and it's a delicacy out in South America, apparently.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. There we go. It's so easy.
Henry, are you rounding us out
So,
with the blue bananas?
I'm torn between two things. I can no, hell no. There's no way they're even as good as normal bananas. Otherwise, those would be the bananas we have in stores.
Well, maybe they're harder to grow.
Yeah, they only grow in a specific part of the world that they're so expensive that it makes no sense.
2025. If we want to grow bananas, we could grow them anywhere. Yeah, I think so. I'm torn between being tan, which is a really underrated
Have
part
you ever
of the
done
summer.
that?
I had no idea that you cared about that.
No,
But
he
it's
gets-
just so
he
pleasant
doesn't
to be
get
just
tan.
like, because especially when you sit down in the chair
So-
before they adjust the cameras, and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm pale today.
Yeah,
That's gone in the summer if you play your cards right.
it's true. Also, Yaya, could light us a little more flatteringly.
Yeah, make
Like
me
a little
look
duller? Would that help?
I trust me. I try very hard.
look more tan. I'll take. You know what? I'll take being tan.
Okay.
Being
Yeah.
tan.
Nice.
You are the most tan on
I feel
our
like you-
graphic.
I am on the graphic. That's nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna get cooked for that.
For his tanness?
For him picking being tan
Fair.
specifically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Wait,
As-
let's just take one last peek at the board here.
Yeah.
I want to see if
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
going to
win or not.
enjoy this draft because not only did I win, but just this is what life is about, is this draft, the summer things. We've made it.
I know. I realized
here.
that like, I think summer vacation, summer break, was the peak of my existence.
Jack Hawk in the chat
And
says,
I wasn't allowed to have it
No.
on this draft?
"Wow,
It's not a. It's not a summer thing. It is the summer. It just happened to be when we were younger.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
But I'm just saying, like-
to your point, though, wasn't that the best feeling in the world when this day rolled around, which is like when people are getting off of school, and you left school and you just knew you were on summer break?
And like, I just remember the last summer where I had no responsibilities.
oh, incredible."
And I was so tan.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Is this in college?
No, this was in high school. And the most thing I remember about that summer is I went to the pool every day. Just
Yep.
laid by the pool. Again, I'm not always about going in the pool, but I do like being by the pool.
Yep.
And then every time the Rockies scored 7 runs, I got the free tacos. That's all I did all summer.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome.
Boy, the Rockies should raise that bar to,
Lower that bar.
They love raising bars.
well, like, or raise the prize that they give out.
Right. If they score
to-
7 runs, like,
Yeah.
a
you
free
get
Toyota.
$100.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to happen. Oh, man. This was an awesome show. Shout out to everyone tuning in. We got a super chat. Shout out to Clean and Gus, who says, best pod with a heart. Thank you so
Wow.
much. We appreciate you. This has been a blast. Stay tuned. We're going to be taking Monday off. We'll be back Tuesday, and we might be at our normal time, 11 a.m., but we also might be in the afternoon, so make sure to stay tuned for that.
Try a Coors Light on ice this weekend.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Trust
our
me.
assignment. That's our homework assignment. Coors Light on ice.
Coors Light on ice.
That'll do it for us. Have a great Memorial Day, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
We all silly like the mayor.